Welcome to the Musician Secrets podcast. I have Sophie Lou with me today. I'm so excited for you to be here.
I'm excited to be here. This is it's new, we're getting used to this whole Zoom kind of experience, and it's good to have a chat.
Yeah, no, it's really cool because we go back a few years.
Yeah. I started uni 2015, so you would have been 2016.
16, I think.
So, I think I was the end of that's right.
Yeah, you were a year ahead of me.
A year above,
yeah, which was really cool because I just always liked the energy around you. You were always a go-getter, someone that always went and did what you wanted to do. Like, you were like thinking about it and theoretically thinking about all these cool scenarios. And I think you were like one of the only ones that I know that brought out an album during our university time.
Yeah, it was I brought out an EP, so I start I'm just trying to think so it was just before we finished, so I was doing studies alongside making an EP and released the EP. And hectic, but that was
so cool.
It was a lot because uni was, as you know, it was very full on. There was a lot going on, but I think being there just I don't know, it gave me that extra push, and because I was learning so much at uni, I was kind of just applying it outside as well. So I just make life difficult for myself and just overload it, but it was fun doing, juggling both, and it was fun.
I think it's so rewarding. I mean, I wish I would have done that. Like, now going back, I think I wish I would have taken the time to like do something like that too, because I think that was like the perfect time because you're surrounded by so many amazing musicians. And that was probably the reason why I actually came to England. It wasn't for the degree at the end of it, because let's be honest, either people like your music or you're not. They don't care if you have a degree.
Yeah.
And for me, it wasn't about the piece of paper. I was really like surrounding myself with musicians that were in the same environment as I was. They were having the same goals or the same journey and understood where I was coming from and not judging me for wanting to be a musician.
I definitely agree. I think that was my main kind of reason for going, because I was already making and creating music and had been releasing music. I knew that I needed to be in that environment where it was happening all the time, and I went as students, we went to learn and take everything that we could, and I think but that like being in those environments, I'd never played with live musicians before, I'd never played in a band, and for me that was like, wow, it was incredible. And I learned so much from that, and just being around musicians that were, I guess, more experienced than you and knew more than you, and you could learn from them, and it was a really humbling experience. It's like you said, the degree is incredible, the certificate stuff, but the actual experience was the greatest thing. I think that really shaped a lot of us into who we are now, and what we know, and it was great, really great.
Yeah, it was definitely was a huge turning point, because you're just constantly pushed out of your comfort zone the entire time. Like, you're forced to do things that you're not familiar with, that you're not doing, like covering AC/DC in a Afrobeat genre. You're like,
why would you ever think to do that? I mean, it's true. I remember my first term, and we did like a cover of, I think we made an Elvis song into like, I think we turned it into like we just totally transformed it, and it was like, we would never do this. Why would we ever do this? But it, like you said, it takes you out your comfort zone, and you learn so much from it. So it was really good. It was a really good learning experience for that. And I think it gave us so much confidence because of taking us out of our comfort zone. We were able to grow in that sense. So it was amazing, really good.
For sure, because there's no growth in your comfort zone and no comfort in your growth zone.
Yep, and it's so true.
That's why I just like, those 2 years were just like so much growth, like just
I think everybody that was on that course grew massively. Like no doubt about it. From when I met everyone, and even just looking back at myself to even just the 2 years later, everybody grew. It's incredible. The course is we're really lucky to have been able to do that. It was so good.
For sure. Good. No, I'm very, very blessed to have had that experience before they unfortunately had to like shut it down. But like now, it's so great to see how everyone has been growing over the course, and now after just seeing what we're doing, and so it's so good to see your first EP come out, and now like 4 years later, almost, is it 4 years?
Yeah.
Like now you've got, last year you brought out SoulSearch, right?
Yeah.
Which it's like, I call it the no BS album. Because you just say straight how it is, and I love it. It's so good and just uplifting. Also, like just the vibe of the music and your message. Like it's not about partying and just love in general, but you're like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think more people need to hear the real things. Like I think a lot of people think they're alone with their anxiety and their problems, and you just call it out as it is. And I love it. If I have a bad day and I feel like crap, I put on your album, I'm like,
thank you so much. That means so much. That's all I want, like for the music to resonate, for people to understand and relate, and so that is incredible. That's amazing. Thank you for that.
No, for sure. Like I just love when people have just a different way of saying things, because especially if you're like a singer-songwriter, what you write about tells me a lot about who you are, because that means that's where your mind is, right? So that's what I look out for. It's like I'm huge on lyrics, so I like to pick them apart and be like, okay, so what are you thinking about? How do you phrase things, right? So that really gives us a visual and also like just in general overview of who you are really as a person, as an artist. So walk us behind the scenes of how that happened, why SoulSearch, and like the bravery behind being so honest. Like how hard was that?
Really hard. It was extremely hard. I believe I actually started writing the SoulSearch album while I was at uni. So I think if I remember right, I wrote a song called SoulSearch, which never actually made it to the album, and I actually performed it at my final major performance. So this song is still sitting on my laptop. But then that sparked the idea to call the album SoulSearch. I thought that the name SoulSearch was more impactful as a name for a title for an album rather than just one song. So I actually began the writing process, as I was finishing uni, so like 2017. For me, music is my release, it's my therapy, it's my go-to, it's like my diary. So everything that kind of I see, feel, experience, a lot of it does get written down. And SoulSearch for me was just me. Musically, it was showing all sides of me, what I can do, what I'm capable of doing. Tapping into different sounds and genres and stuff like that. But then content-wise, I just wanted to, I guess, lay myself totally bare and just, it was, even though it's a scary thing to do, I wanted to be vulnerable within the music, because that's what I enjoy when I listen to music. I want to hear your story, I want to hear your depth, I want to hear your honesty. And that's what I did from start to finish. I guess I told a story of over a stretch of 10 or so years. I mean, I'm still not finished writing about, but I picked...
You never are,
Never. Picked on certain things and brought it all together, and, some of the songs in there I am being very very honest about things, and but like I said, that's what I appreciate when I listen to music. So I want to be that artist that doesn't hold back and, you know, let you know that, you know, things are going to be okay, and this does happen and you will get through it, and you know what I mean. So that's just always my aim as an artist, to be transparent and relatable, because there's a lot of music out there that's, you know, it's not authentic, and you know, it is kind of manufactured, just, you know. And I just want to be someone that is real and raw and honest, and you can relate. But it is a scary thing, putting myself out there like that, but as we said earlier, nothing grows in the comfort zone. So, and also that is my therapy. So for me to write things down, transform it into a positive, give it out, then that makes me feel good as well as people being able to enjoy it. So yeah, it's a scary process, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally enjoy it. Like I said, it is definitely like an album that I just go back to when I just have a bad day or whatever, and I know, like, if I listen to it, that's your truth. Like, okay, Sophie has been through this, I can do it. Like, it's okay, it's gonna be okay.
That's the aim. I mean, we all experience, you know, negative and down moments or days or just periods of time, and you're not alone. No, we're all human. Nobody has a perfect day, you know what I mean, every single day. Like, nobody is up all the time, and it's important to touch upon that, because not everybody knows how to. We all have a voice and we can all express ourselves, but not everybody knows how to do that. So I believe that those that can, use your voice to help and do, you know what I mean, for the better, because there's going to be someone out there looking for that voice, because they need that reassurance and they need that comfort. And I just think if you have the ability to do that, do it more. And that's just what I live by now. It's, you know, if I can reach 10 people, that's fine. I've done something. Do you know what I mean? So I just think we can all do a bit in our own little ways, and I know how to write, so that's what I do. That's my gift to the world, I guess.
No, for sure, and I definitely love it, and so grateful that, you know, you have the courage to stand up and be like, you know what, I'm not standing for this mainstream blah blah. I'm actually gonna be like, that's really brave. Like, there are not a lot of artists out there, and I wish there were more that are just so open and transparent the way you are. And again, being a lyric person, I just like to, like, look at it, and there's a track, it's called Keep It Moving.
Yeah,
you did. Yeah. And there's a line that I loved, it was just very shy, but it says, anxiety is a bee but I got it on a leash, right? Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah. So just talk about me, how that kind of came into place, how that line kind of happened.
So I was just going through a really, really bad stage of anxiety. My anxiety was just through the roof. It was just, I mean, it's probably been one of the worst stages that I've had. And you know, I was having panic attacks and just overthinking, overworrying, overstressing. And then one day I was like, right, let me let this out into the music. And I just decided to take control of it. And that line was just basically saying, right, anxiety has been an annoyance to my life, but right now I've got it on a leash. I've actually got control of it now. Yeah. And that's one of my favourite songs I've wrote, I think, because it is about anxiety and just, you know, keeping it moving and making sure you're staying afloat and you are in control. And I think sometimes we forget that. It's our life, it's our emotions, it's our thoughts, and if we just grab a hold of it, you know what I mean, we can regain that control back, and we can just hold it and throw that away. And I think that's an important song for me, because it was one of the worst stages of anxiety I've kind of experienced. But I knew that other people do experience that as well. So I think I enjoy creating conscious like concept, but in like a cool way. So it's like not so much in your face, but you can enjoy it whilst taking in a message as well. And I think that's where I've found a good balance within my music of doing that, because people are listening and sometimes they don't even realise that there's a message, but there is. So yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah, so what does that look like? Like, what was it, how did you even find out that, okay, this is anxiety, like I need to like take it and like control it? And how does that control look like? Because I hear that a lot, that friends of mine, they're like, I have this anxiety, I feel all this pressure, and you know, I have these panic attacks, and I just don't know how to let go, because really anxiety is really wanting to control, right? Yeah. So you said, like, how does that look for you?
I think for me, something stuck in my head. I think it was it last year or the year before? A couple of years ago. When I was experiencing really bad anxiety, I posted something on Instagram just basically saying like I'm just not doing well, and somebody messaged me saying, and this has stuck with me, they said that while you're holding on to this, whatever it is that you're holding on to, whether this is a negative thought, whether it's a past experience, you are holding on to it so tightly, you're actually hurting yourself by holding on to it. Why don't you just let go and you can pick up something else? And when I actually visualized that, it was like, yeah, why are you hurting yourself by holding on to this so tightly? It's doing no good for you. If you just simply let go and pick up something positive, and that for me worked so well, because it's like, well, yeah, it's so simple, but when you actually visualize it, all these kind of bad, these worrying thoughts that we have, all these, like, we're worrying about something that's happened, we're holding on to it so tightly, and just free yourself from it. And I mean, maybe easier said than done for some, but for me, that was just a really comforting, like, thing to actually visualize, because I was holding on to so many things that were like weighing me down. But just let go, just pick something else up. And I think that's how you have to think, like, mentally. You're storing all these thoughts in your brain, but you could actually be thinking about so much other great things. And I think we're kind of like our worst enemy sometimes, because we, like I said, we forget that we are in control. It's our mind. So if you don't have to think about this, why do it? You know what I mean? And it is simple. It's just not always easy to do. Yeah. But that's something that really that's now stuck in my head now. If I'm having a bad day or something bad, even just a small negative thing has happened, I'm not holding on to that, because that's not serving me any good. It's not bringing me any good feeling or energy. So I'm just going to let go of that and find something else to pick up on. And I think it's important. I don't think there's any set way, like a general set way for people to deal with anxiety, but you have to find your what brings you peace and joy. So I don't know, let's say, for example, you're in a line of traffic and you've got road rage, somebody's just cut up in front of you and you're going crazy. No, why? Instead of going crazy at that person, breathe, turn on one of your favourite songs and latch onto that instead. And I think there's always a positive and a negative. It's what you decide to hold on to, I believe. And I think that if you can practice that every day, and in those little moments where things are actually happening, it'll just be a lot smoother. That's what I've learned to do, because I think I used to hold on to so many negative things and focus on the bad in my mind, and I'd go over it and replay it, and it's like, but why, when there's all this beautiful and great stuff that you can hold on to, why not just focus on that instead? So I think, like I said, it's really simple. It's not always easy to do, but I think with daily practice of just actually identifying those moments where you're like feeling down about something, or something's having a negative effect, that's where you need to practice. Okay, let me push that one to the side and let me actually focus on something that's good right now, whether that's your favorite song, looking outside at some like flowers or nature or whatever it is, just finding something that's opposite to that. And I think if you practice that daily, eventually that will just become a way of life.
Yeah.
And like I said, you won't have perfect days, but they'll be a lot better than, you know, kind of drowning in the negativity of those moments that are happening, because that's all they are, just moments.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I completely 100% agree, because that's basically what got me from being depressed, you know, when I was about like 20, 21.
Yeah.
I was like also in a really bad place, you know. I think depression and anxiety are like siblings, these cousins that, you know. And luckily my mom was like very open about like depression in our family, and at the time I didn't know that even depression can be genetically given to you. Like, and a lot of people are depressed and they're like, why am I depressed? I don't have any reasons to be. But they don't know it could be, you know, just given to you by, you know, your family. And so because of that, I was able to be like, okay, you know, it's not my fault, and it never is, but really that my life hasn't changed, or my situation didn't change, but my mindset did. And that's really what you said, is like, what are you looking for? Because you find what you're looking for, because there is good and bad and negativity and positivity, and you will find what you're looking for. And it's really cool, because Tony Robbins had this really short experiment that he did with the people. He's like, okay, everyone just like look around, look for everything that's red. Really quickly, like look around. Now close your eyes and now focus on the red things. Now open your eyes. What in the room was green? And everyone's like, what? And he's like, yeah, you can probably now tell me way more red things than there are green. Why? Because you were focusing and looking for the red. It doesn't mean the green never existed. It just means you were holding on to the red so tight that you didn't have your hands free to pick up the green.
What you focus more on, you will see more of. It's you know what I mean? It's true, and that's what we do. Well, you know, try not to now, but that's, you're constantly looking for the bad. That's all you're gonna see. And that's where you need to really take control of your mind, switch your mindset and focus on the good, because whatever's bad is going on, you can, like I said, there's still so much beautiful things to see and to take in. It's just, that's the hardest thing, changing your mindset. But like I said, if you practice that daily, or even just as the hours go by, just because there's always going to be something pop up, but that's where you've got basically train your mind to think differently and feel differently. But it just brings you peace and comfort in life, so it's an important thing to do. And unfortunately a lot of people don't. They will go their whole lives like focusing on the bad, and you know, it's a shame.
It just sucks out the energy that you have. Like, I can just feel when I'm around, like I really have to go like and be like, okay, who am I spending my time on? Like, what people am I surrounding myself with? And I literally had to just cut cords with some people, because I'm like, you know, this is just draining me. Like, they just suck out everything out of you, and they're filling you with all the negativity, and you have to be like, you know, enough is enough. This is what I can take. And that you know, sometimes it's, you just kind of have to go through and really, I'm very selective with who I spend my time with, what my Instagram feed shows me, like what Netflix shows I watch, what, you know, because you can, especially now in 2020, it's just really served me well that I already had my mindset trained. So now, you know, that the world's going crazy, I still have that inner peace, and I don't have to go nuts and share that negativity.
And that's really good for it to hear that you do that, because you are literally looking after yourself so well. You're protecting your peace, and it is important to cut off anything that isn't serving you good, or you know, or people that are constantly feeding you negativity or putting you down, or you know, it's and again, a lot of people don't recognize the people or places or things that are bringing them negative energy, because they're so used to it, so they just keep it around. But I think when you truly care about your peace, practice, you know, self-love, these are things that you won't allow into your environment, because they don't serve you. So it's what you've got to do for yourself, and it's not a selfish thing. It's
not protecting yourself, literally, because now through online and stuff, everyone's fighting for your attention all the time. All the Instagram ads, all the Facebook ads, all the bus ads, like wherever you look, it ads everywhere, and they're all fighting for your attention. So you have to be very selective of where your attention is going. So
it's I think right now as well, with the internet and social media being such a huge thing, you are bombarded with information, negativity, news, and it's like, wow, there's a lot going on right now. So it is important to protect your energy and your mind, because, well, the truth is, you don't actually have to take in any of it. It's up to you what you know, if something comes onto your feed that you're not happy with, you actually do have the power of actually removing that. And I think it's important to do that, because it's your timeline, it's your, you know.
Exactly.
So again, you're in control. Because I've realised that on social media a lot. I'm like, and then I've just come off, and I'm like, hang on, but this is my feed. I choose what I see. Just go back on, and if you don't like something, unfollow that or remove that, or do you know what I mean? And it's important to do that, because I guess if you are on social media and you are online, that is another. It's just, that's your kind of digital online view of the world. You've got like your real one when you're out there and you see everything, and the same way you wouldn't engage in a conversation or talk to a certain person if you don't want to, or get involved in a situation. It's exactly the same online. You choose your feed and what you see. If you're not happy with it, change it. You're allowed to unfollow, you're allowed to block, you're allowed to remove, you're allowed to do that, because it's your feed. I think I definitely forget that sometimes. I'm like, oh, I don't really see this. Oh, this is draining me. But then I'm like, hang on, so you can just move it. Like, forget you. It's important. It's really important.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like, it's definitely. I think we're in an era where we are just flooded with information that we need to learn to take out stuff out of our lives. Like, it's not adding more, because we've got enough, but I think it's the challenge is now to, okay, what do I take out? What do I leave behind? What do I stop doing? Like, what is it?
You've really got to weigh up what is bringing you peace, happiness and joy, and what isn't. And whatever isn't, just get rid of it, literally. And I think if we do that more with everything, all aspects, friends, even family sometimes, you know, things we see, things we hear, things we watch, we can live a much more peaceful life if we're in control of what comes into our space and environment. We've just got to do it. You have to have that clear out. The same way you'd have a clear out in your house of all the junk that you've got. It's just annoying you, it's in your way, it's just causing you bother. You'd take it and you'd throw it away, and that's exactly the same as what we have to do in life and online as well. And it's just, we've got more space, and it's just clearer, and we've got in our environment what we actually want in it. So it's important to do. It's important to have a clear out, and I think I always, at the end of like the year, I kind of have a clear out so I can start the year fresh again. And I mean, that's not something I only do at the end of the year. I'll do that quite regularly, but I always make sure that I do it at the end of the year, because if it's a new year and you want to start afresh, and you'll have many more clear outs throughout the year, but you start on the right foot, then you're good to go, aren't you?
Yeah, no, that's something I've recently started this year, because it was just, I have three rules. Like, if it doesn't spark joy, if it doesn't serve a purpose, and if it doesn't have sentimental value, get rid of it. Get out of it. It has nothing. But those are the three rules I've lived by this year, and it served me well. I gotta say, I'm just so much happier if you have just less stuff in your life. And I do it with clothes, I do it with friends, my Instagram feed, the Netflix show, like whatever it is.
Yeah, it's so important. Such a great objective. I like that. I'm gonna live by that one now.
Maybe I'll add some more or whatever, but those were like the three main ones. Like, so yeah. There's a song that I also really like. I think it's a single that you put out. I don't think that it's on SoulSearch, but it's called Peace.
Peace.
And I love what you say that, and I'm just gonna read it out because it's so good. It says, protecting my peace, no stress around me. I'm calm and I'm cool, still healing from before, so I do not need more. I'm doing more chasing. I'm done, no more chasing. I'm just going to embrace things, no more overthinking, living with no expectations. Wow.
Thank you.
I love that. I mean, that is basically just sums up what we were just saying.
Yeah.
I
think ultimately for me, peace is the goal. So chasing musically, you know, we're all kind of made to think that we've got to be part of this industry, we've got to do this, we've got to do that, but certain things are recognized were making me uncomfortable, that weren't in a not so good way. It wasn't a growth uncomfort, it was just this doesn't feel good. And so part of me kind of being at peace was, right, stop chasing things that you don't even care about because you think that that's what you've got to do. Stop kind of have goals, but don't, expectations leads to disappointment, so stop doing that to yourself. Just be free, live freely, create freely. Stop thinking that you've got to do this and that and hit these numbers and targets, because, and that's part of me clearing out my timeline, because I was seeing so many things that were telling me this is where you should be, this is what you should be doing, if you're not doing that, oh well, you're not. And it's like, well what? So then I had to kind of restart and refresh and actually think, well, no, I enjoy making music, I love making music, I love giving out a message. If I don't hit these numbers or views or streams or whatever, then cool, whatever. Like, and that's how I had to retune my brain, because yeah, it's great to see loads of streams and loads of views but the impact is so much more important. So you could have 200,000 streams on a song and have left impact to nobody. But you could have like 100 streams and have impacted, like, do you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, yeah, I had to leave those ways of thinking behind, because I just want peace. I don't want to be stressing about irrelevant things. And yeah, it's I think I wrote that song when I was just in the midst of that in-between bit of feeling those things and actually trying to get to this point. And I was like, right, I need to just get this out. And then it's out.
No, it's so true. I'm just like, wow, like all the solutions are right in here. Like, I'm doing no more chasing, I'm done with it, I'm over it, I'm just gonna embrace life. And whatever is gonna come. Like, I'm gonna stop fighting whatever or forcing whatever's gonna happen. It was so interesting, because the other day I watched like this little short Instagram video where they interviewed Barack Obama. It was like 4 minutes long, and they asked a question and they said, like, what advice do you give, like, inspiring, you know, young people? He's like, stop focusing on what you want to be and start focusing on what you want to do. Because a lot of people say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a musician, I want to be the president, whatever it is. But he says, what really gets you there is focusing on what you want to do. Because once you do, you're going to become who you want to be. But people flip it around and set all these expectations. And I need to be this, I need to be that, I need to be a good mom, I need to be a good friend or wife or husband or lawyer or whatever. I need to be. And he's like, no, focus on what you want to do. And I'm like, wow.
So true. And I think that comes into play as well. Like, the constant, we're always focusing on the end goal rather than just being in the moment. And that's what I'm practicing now. It's like, find peace in the stillness, find peace in the present. Like, right now I'm here with you, I'm not thinking about anything else, we are in this. And a lot of the time people are, you know, they're doing something and they're thinking about something that's in the future, and it's like just be in the present, because that's where you'll be peaceful. Stressing about past things is just unnecessary stress. It doesn't even exist anymore, so there's no point. And then the future hasn't even happened yet, so just wait for that. While you're waiting for that to come, just enjoy right now. And I think if we stop stressing about what we want to be and, you know, what we can achieve and what may happen, enjoy right now, because once this is gone, we're not going to get it back. So just enjoy right now. And I think that's something I'm really, really, really trying to practice, just being still in the moment, because like I said, once this moment's gone, it's gone. We can't do it again. So and while we're in this present moment, well, there doesn't need to be any stress or anxiety or worrying, or, you know, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And I think with the society that we're now in as well, because there's so many like the goals, the apparent goals that we should all be hitting, and what we should have done, or we should have done this by this age, we should have achieved this by now, if you're this, you should be doing this, you should look like, and it's like, so there are a lot of pressures, there's hundreds of pressures, but if you just practice being in the moment, being happy, okay, and comfortable with who you are right now, then those pressures don't need to affect you. And it's just outside noise. Just move as we're all on different timelines in life. There's no way that we'd all be you know, achieving success at this, and also success is defined by you as well. There is no definition of success, it's what you believe it to be. So yeah, I think I like that one. Just stop worrying about what you want to be and just do, and be in the moment rather than stressing about what's going to be happening in 5 years' time. Why the heck are you even thinking about that? Like, you know, have goals and ambitions, but enjoy now. Just enjoy right now, because in 5 years you'll be looking back thinking, oh, I wish I'd have just enjoyed in that moment, you know? So it's important.
Yeah, it definitely is. We kind of wish away the time that we have right now. It's like, oh, I need to be, you know, in 10 years I need to be there, or in next year I want to do this, but no, there's nothing wrong with setting goals and setting expectations. I think that for me a big thing was being grateful. If you have an attitude of gratitude, when you're grateful, you say thank you for what you have. And I think once you have that foundation, if you have that foundation of really being grateful, and then you're like, you know what, I want to do this next, or I want to be there, then you have that inner peace already, and you're just kind of going towards a new goal and getting out of your comfort zone, right, which makes you grow. But if you don't have that layer of gratitude first, and you're kind of, oh, I need to be here and I need to be that, that's when the pressure comes in, and where anxiety happens, and where you think this is going to make you happy, and then you get there and it didn't, and you're like, oh, well, then I need to make more money, or have a better car, or a bigger house, and kind of go for these goals constantly, when it really comes from that foundation of peace.
I believe that, like, if you're grateful for what you have right now, and you could have like absolutely minimal, but what if you are like engrossed in being so grateful and happy with what you have right now, things will be given to you more, and they'll be seen as like a bonus. Because if you like you said, if you lay that foundation, well, I'm happy with this, so anything else is actually a bonus. And I think we all need to try and reach that stage, because let's face it, money and things, they're not going to bring us happiness. They might bring us some like slight excitement in the moment because we've got something new, but when you're in your down times, and you're not going to be able to go to that thing, and it's not going to bring you any joy. Do you know what I mean? Or like internal, like real joy. So I think, you know, we must be grateful for just the real basic things, like being able to eat, being able to speak, being able to breathe, you know, being able to get up in the morning. And even if you can't do those things, there'll be still be something that you can be grateful for. And I think the more you show gratitude, the more, whatever you believe in, a higher power, your kind of beliefs, whatever you believe in, whether that's God, the universe, whatever it is, they will give you more, I believe. But you have to have that bottom layer of gratitude. You know, because a lot of people, they do go through life just take and expecting, and they're not even like happy and grateful for what the small things that they have.
Just a little technical difficulties. Are you back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what happened then.
It's all right. It happens sometimes. All right.
Technology.
Yeah, I know, but you know, we're making the best out of it. I'm not gonna.
Fine.
Gonna
Life
be.
is fine.
Yeah, that's just how it is, right? That's just. But yeah, I think, like you said, like being grateful is just really, just important. I think that's, if I could focus on just one thing perfectly, I would focus on that, because that changes your life drastically.
Definitely, I agree. I think gratitude has to be the bottom line of everything. It has to be the base. I think if you can master, it's not. I don't even think it's hard to master being grateful. You just look around and see what you've got, and there's going to be something that, you know, more people. Some people might have more than others, but there's going to always be something that you can be grateful for. Whether that's a basic thing of just being able to hear, smell, taste, I don't know, the real basics, if that's what you can be grateful for. And then, you know, other people just having a house, having a home, having a bed to sleep in. It's things that you've got that you may take for granted, but somebody else in the world may be so, like, they would absolutely that. I think if we can be grateful, it just helps us be better people, and we will be given more the more grateful we are, like I said, but it will be a bonus, because if we can just be happy with what we've got, then everything else is just a great extra, isn't it? Yeah, for sure. No, and I think that's why I just love SoulSearch so much, because it just talks about the real things, you know, and is just being open and honest. Basically, I'm just so grateful for you and your energy, and just the messages that you're putting out, because it's just, I know it's helped me, so I'm pretty sure there are at least a few other people out there that also, you know, get that good energy and also that courage maybe to speak up, or feel that it's okay to experience down days or anxiety or whatever it is. And I just love that you just call it out as it is. Like, that's why I call SoulSearch like the no BS album. Because that's just what it is. Like, it just says it how it is, you get it straight, like, and just like the music around it makes it so cool. Just, it has that like flow and just underlines really what you're trying to bring across. I'm so glad that you enjoy it, and I'm so glad that it kind of serves its purpose, because that's not my aim. And it might be a therapy to me to release, but I do hope that people can relate and it resonates with them, and they can find some comfort the same way I have as well. So that's great to hear. That's really, really great. Yeah, I think the more we share, the more we notice that we're not alone, because we put out the moments that are cool and make us look good, and you know, oh, I've been traveling and I've been here and I've been doing this, and you know, we don't share the moments where we've been crying and feel like we're drowning, and you know, and I try to you know, write songs about moments like that, but you know, you're on a whole new level. So I hope I can you know, reach up to that level that you are on, and hope I can be as brave as you are and just like let it out, be open, be vulnerable. The way you are, and the way even your energy and the way you live, you can definitely, I think you're already there. You can. I'm trying. Yeah, so where can people find you? Where can people, do you still got like merch? This is a really old one. So so that would have been that was a run for the Out With The Old EP. Yeah. And I did a SoulSearch merch. Yeah. But I'm in the midst of working out some new stuff at the moment. I'm trying to create something a bit more general in terms of just actual merchandise rather than specific to a project. So that's something I'm like currently working on. I think I'm nearly there. I'm just but yeah, I'm on all social media. Sophie Lou Life. The reason I actually want to change my name to just Sophie Lou, but somebody got it already. So I can't have it. So I had to.
Oh no, he's out again.
I don't know what happened.
We're having some technical difficulties, but it's all good. I don't know, because it's really windy outside here in Germany, so.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so it's
we've had like since last night, we've had like it's just been insane. So I don't know if it's me. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay.
Anyway, so Sophie Lou Life on all social media.
All social media. Yeah, Sophie Lou Life. That's me.
Perfect. So yeah, check out the album SoulSearch. Like, it's truly like amazing. It'll make you feel better instantly. So yeah, if you're having a hard day or whatever, or just a good day, doesn't matter. Definitely listen to that. But you've got some new projects, right?
Yeah. So I've got a single coming out on the 18th. It's called Check In. And I pretty much wrote this just with everything going on and the way people are feeling and the way I felt as well. I think a lot of people are forgetting to check in with their friends, and more importantly themselves. I think it's so easy to get lost in everything that's going on, the news, social media, radio, whatever it is that's bombarding us with information. We're actually forgetting to check in with ourselves and with our friends, and we're not alone. Again, we are not. None of us are alone. There's always going to be somewhere that you can check into. I wrote about that, just as a reminder to people to do that. I'm looking forward to this coming out. Again, I hope it like resonates with people, and I hope they can like take something from it, because that's what I want to achieve with this. I just want to remind people to check in, because it's so important to do so.
I can just agree 100%. So I can't wait. So that's happening on the 18th of December, right?
Yeah.
Basically, then check In and SoulSearch, and and again, all the social medias will be blended in and in the links below, so they will have no trouble finding you. And go, because again, if you're having like, anxiety or depression or just having a tough time and stuff like that, Sophie is your girl to follow and have in your feeds and keep you inspired. So so thank you for being so brave and just doing it. Like, you're a go-getter. Like I said in the beginning, you just go and get it, you just do it, and thank you for doing that, for sure.
Thank you. I try. I mean, it's not always easy, but
never is.
Life is life, and we can all do it. We've just got to find that courage and keep that self-belief. I think if we can have self-belief, we can do anything, and not be kind of distracted or disheartened by outside noise. Just block that out and be in the moment, be in the present, and really know who you are, and like Barack Obama said, what you want to do, and just focus on that, and don't let anything get in your way. It's your path. There is no set way of doing things. Whatever society tells you, your goals are your goals. We haven't all got the same goals, and we're not all moving at the same pace, so never be disheartened by what this person's doing or what that person's doing, because that's their path. You focus on your path and you'll get it. Whatever you want to do, you can do. Whoever you want to be, you can be. But focus on the present, be in the moment, and just enjoy it. Enjoy
the ride.
It's gonna be a wild one, but take it all, take it with the bad. take it all, because you know it's balance, isn't it? It all plays a part. For every bad we've said there's a good, so try to focus more on the good and learn from the bad, and yeah.
Wow.
Just enjoy it. Well, we once, aren't we? So just enjoy it. Enjoy your break.
Wow. Well, thank you for taking the time, for being present, and really, you know, I know you're busy and like working on so many things, so I really appreciate you taking, you know,
It's fine.
this time. And
Thank you for having me, because it's a great, like, this is a great start to the day. So yeah, it's set me right up for the day. So that's amazing. It's good to have like a positive, good high energy conversation to start the day. So thank you for having me. And,
yeah, of course.
good luck with everything that you're doing, because it's a great platform that you started, and I'm really like excited to see it just flourish and grow. And yeah, but again, enjoy it. Just enjoy it, and it's great that you've started this. It's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I just it's scary. It was definitely something where I'm like, I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know where you know, but the feedback has been great, and you know, just the more I talk and have these interviews with just like you and other like amazing musicians, the more I'm just realizing how much it is needed and heard. And I can't wait to bring out this episode, because people need to hear this and need to hear your music and your message and your positive energy. And so I'm excited, and yeah, so yeah, all the best to you, and hopefully we'll be able to see each other sooner than this time.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, then have a good day, and yeah.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this that are about songwriting, then hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, but only if you want to learn more. If not, then that's fine too. If you want to get into songwriting, want to learn how to write songs, then click the link below for musicians' secrets, and you can learn everything you need to know in the link below. Bye!